Hey everybody, it's time for another Redneck review. This is Robert here, and today I'm doing another DC comic. It is one of my all-time favorite. My bald spot is showing up right there. Hold on, let me fix that. Okay, sorry about that. Anyway, we're going to be reviewing Red Lanterns. For those of you who aren't familiar with Red Lanterns or getting back into comic books for after a really long time, the Red Lanterns are another core in the vast emotional spectrum that instead of will, they draw their power from rage, the quintessential rage inside all of them. And for the last couple years, they've been popping up here and there, but a couple years back in the New 52, they decided to give them their own book. Their leader is known as Atrocicus. The he is a very powerful being. He helped create the Red Lantern Corps. He is their leader. He was a member of a race inside of Sector 666 that the Guardians, back when the Guardians were using the Manhunters to police the universe, they accidentally went insane and destroyed an entire sector, an entire planet. And this guy forever swore vengeance on the Guardians and the rest of the universe. Well, anyway, we're gonna start things off here. The book is written by Peter McGillen, Ed Vance, and Rob Hunter. The brighter pencils now. I don't know too much about these guys, but I'm gonna do some more research and tell you some more information about it next time. Anyway, in Space Sector 666, it starts off with a group of aliens apparently are torturing another alien in this sector. He goes, "You're right, Oobs. The universe exists for my pleasure, yet it has ceased to amuse. We need a new quarry, a new game. A hunter's fate. It's been kind. There is some kind of fine-looking creature approaching." These aliens are basically torturing this guy. They're hunters. They're playing with their prey, and all of a sudden they find something out in space. Daxstar, the feline Red Lantern, the scariest looking cat in the galaxy, if you will. Alright, anyway, Daxstar manages to make it in here. The aliens are going to try and kill him or eat him, either one. They're, you know, ready to go after him. The Red Lanterns can shoot out basically liquid napalm from their mouths and create constructs just like the Green Lanterns can, but they're just savages when they're these Red Rings. Rage just completely takes over their mind, and you can see here Daxstar is just taking it to them. The only one that manages to have any sort of self-control after the aliens put him down is Atrocicus. And the coolest opening words you could say in any comic are just said here. "What are you doing to my cat?" Alright, so we see Atrocicus. He goes, "My name is Atrocicus. Since my entire people were destroyed by the Guardians, I have been consumed by hate. Hate that turned naturally to rage, the eternal equation of life itself. But lately there has been a change. The fire is weaker. I am not the same. It's as though I'm simply going through the motions, a fading actor repeating empty lines. But how can this be? How can my rage be less pure?" And we see him just taking it to these people, ripping them apart, and he takes his damaged little Red Lantern home. Alright, well, we changed the stage again when we're back on Earth. And in the midst of Atrocicus' last words, when there is still so much pain in the universe. Atrocicus prides himself on being the quintessential Red Lantern. He wants to be. He likes rage. It's one of those things where rage can be a warm blanket. Remember, if you take it off, you're going to be cold. So anyway, like I said, we changed it back to Earth, and we see that it's in the middle of a mugging with this one grandfather. He goes, this guy's mugging somebody. He goes, "Just hand over the phone, and this won't hurt too much." You don't scare me," the old man says. "Don't make me angry. I fought a war for little thugs like you. I didn't ask for a." He goes, "I didn't ask for a bloody history lesson, Granddad. I'm not your granddad." Pow! And the guy basically picks up a brick and bashes him in the head again and again. So much injustice, Etrusca's voice we're finding here. As Etruscus takes Daxtar back to Yasmalt in Sector 666. Now, the part about the old man will come back in a little while. Maybe not in this issue, but the next one. I've read this story before. It's really good, and you'll understand why one of these guys is the way they are. You get rest, Daxtar. You will heal. And it's just constant anarchy on the Red Lantern world, where Etruscus is trying to keep order. Stop your fighting. Fighting lanterns rage. We can't. Napalm hurts. Can't stop. Basically, the ring forces them to be in a constant state of rage. They can't even stand still if they wanted to. I didn't ask you to think, Etruscus says. I simply expect you to obey my orders. Orders. There's several other lanterns in here. Bleeze. She's one of the more known Red Lanterns, and she actually plays a pretty big part in the next couple of story arcs. Anyway, Etruscus goes into this mode where he's wondering how his Corps is going to survive. See, in the last story before the New 52, there was a Guardian who was responsible for the incident at Sector 666, who basically told the Manhunters to go and do it. And he managed to find this Guardian and kill him. It was like a ratification, a justification for everything he did, and his goal was to make whoever did this pay for what they did to his family. Now he has. So what does he have to live for? This is his words. Does her feeble mind really fail to understand? Or is this simply insolence? Maybe Bleeze senses the change in me, the intimations of fatal weakness. Maybe they all do. And he sees all the Red Lanterns, these crazy psychopaths. Because if these creatures cease to fear me, what might they do? What might they not do? He's thinking about if he wasn't in control, what would happen? And we see on Yasmalt, he took the body of the crazed Guardian and he put it on his planet and put a sheet over him. He says, Krona, if only you were alive, Krona, how easy that would make things. How terrible and pure my rage would be. In many ways we are like lovers. I am married to you in my rage. Krona married for all time. You slaughtered my people. Krona was a guardian, one of those self-appointed custodians of order in the universe. But Krona was an independent thinker, believing that the Guardian's police force should be emotional beings. To prove his point, he reprogrammed their army of android manhunters to commit the greatest crime in history, a crime that killed trillions and led to the creation of the Green Lantern Corps, a crime that led to the destruction of the entire sector, my sector. And he was basically defeated by the Green Lantern Corps. Because I would make a blood prophecy to understand where all this might end, but since my feelings of malice have been unwilling, how ironic, a man scared by the past, yet unable to face the future. And nearly every pod explodes, the pain unbearable, it's happening, burning. Yasmalt is basically one big blood fountain. It is, Etruscus can use his magic to basically see visions of the future and things like that. He's a very powerful entity. And we see a quick reminder of his fate with the Manhunters and how that played out. His family roasted to death. Even my daughter's ragdoll quickly burnt to dust in my hands. He doesn't even have pieces of his family anymore. It's you kind of feel bad for him and all this stuff, but he's a bad guy too. You can't get too upset. He has nothing but anger. He goes, Granddad. Now we're back on Earth, and we see this one guy come in to check on his grandfather. Was the guy that basically got beat up by the rockets. You missed him. He died a few minutes ago. This guy came in here to see his granddad, and he's just out of it. He was an old man who could do something like this. The world's full of people who could do stuff like this, bro. Maybe that's something they don't teach you at university. Ray, now's not the time. Look at that. Look at it, John. Apparently these two have a bit of a problem. We just get introduced to them. We didn't even make them in the first page. But what am I looking at? Scrapes on his knuckles. Granddad put up a fight. He goes, okay, so he fought back. Good for him. But what difference does it make? If 73-year-old pensioner can put up a fight, so can we. Ray, leave this to the police, he tells him. Where the heck were the police? Here anyway. I asked you. I tried to get here, but the truth is I had really important thesis to hand in. A thesis? A thesis is more important than your own grandfather. He raised us. He was father to us. This is a hard time. You won't make it any easier by trying to make me feel guilty. He goes, you are guilty. These guys are going back and forth here, and yeah, it's sort of sad when brothers fight like this. He goes, grow up, Brandon. You're not the only one who's suffering. And we go back to Yasmal, where the fever passes and it's done. I am anew. He's trying to get in touch with his rage so he can be that instrument of pure rage again. Did you enjoy the spectacle of my agony? What days these are, a dead body that bleeds, a universe that reveals its secrets, but only to the brave. I sacrificed dark blood in this foul garden to you, the universe. Show me what lies ahead of Atrocitus, the Red Lantern. Tell me what I must do. And he sees all these people in suffering and everything, and the Red Lantern Corps coming at them. He figures that his new mission, Atrocitus' new mission, is to bring vengeance to the galaxy, to anyone who will listen, to anyone. That's going to be his thing. The Guardians protect, the Green Lantern Corps protects. I punish. So he's basically becoming an intergalactic Punisher, and we've seen this last part of the first issue, with Fleas and them saying, "Brothers, these, they're all going crazy." But I wonder, Atrocitus, do Red Lanterns need me? He's wondering if he does this on his own, will the Red Lantern Corps still be without him? And that's it, guys. That's it for Red Lanterns #1. If you didn't understand a lot of this, it's a new character. It's not a really new character. He's been around for a while, but this is the first time they've ever given him his own book. I liked it. The art was basically a tie-in for Green Lantern, and I mean, I don't know. It's pretty good to me. I would give it for an opening story, it's a 5, and for the rest of it, for the art, it's a 5, because it doesn't change. It doesn't. There's always plenty to look at. It's always clear to the story. There's not a lot of thought bubbles poking up everywhere. You can get through this thing in about 10 minutes. And it's a $2.99 comic book #1. Could be worth something someday. So that is it, guys. That is your Redneck review from Robert Lawrence, the Red Prince, on Red Lanterns. And a 5 and a 5. Pretty much a perfectly great comic. Just pick it up and learn something about these newer characters. Dice Star, you had to see a crazed cat in space going nuts on alien hunters. Who doesn't like that? Alright, guys, that's it from Robert the Red Prince here at Redneck Reviews. God bless you all. Goodbye.